Hello everyone, it's your favorite FGC VTuber. So, as you guys see, maybe not so much from the title, but we got another controversy in a sense. And this time it's a clickbait of a clickbait in a sense. And this is a shitty video. I mean, I think it's shit. Shitty response to a video that Top Hat Gaming made. In case you guys didn't know, he made a video semi-recently. He's talking about fighting games are dying. First of all, it's clearly clickbait, right? And fighting games aren't dying. And I should come into this how I'm coming to perspective. Whenever I see something, it's like, you know what? If I'm interested, whatever, my immediate action is to get mad or whatever. It's like, what? Hold up, let me go check out. Like, always I come in with the immediate open thought. Like, wait, they might, let them cook. Literally, the let them cook thing. And I seen this, I'm like, something tells me this person is not cooking. But like, again, let them cook, and oh my god, they're so fucking wrong. So let's go ahead and destroy why they're wrong. I'm gonna do the same shit they do.
We're all definitively worse.
And the crazy thing is,
2021
fair warning, their voice is garbage. So let me see. I'm gonna treat one. I'm gonna do what they do, but better, and then also be nitpicky. Because there's so many things. I'm in a whole nasty ass comment below. I was like, no, fuck that shit. I'm just gonna make a whole ass video about this shit. So let me go ahead and turn off the music or tone it down so you guys can hear them better. Like, you guys will not believe the stupid shit coming out this fucker's mouth. Oh, by the way, huge thing. They didn't even link the video below, and then they put their video here in the whole thing. That's just bad monitor, right?
This is where today's video from one Top Hat Gaming man comes in.
Also, really, 25 minutes.
I'm
You
also
can
a
make it
streamer,
shorter.
DJ, and a party girl, so subscribe here and to my Twitch for more content from me.
Look,
Also,
all
I
this
have
stuff.
merch. Come get it, Pookies. I know you want it. We have new.
Can I just say, I think it's cringe that you have merch if you're like not even actually big. They're like 2K. I don't know. I think that's fucking cringe. Another thing to check about the channel. I mean, you want to talk about it, but like, bro, one of my videos has far more views than all this person's videos combined. What I don't want to be that. It is punching a bit low, but it's not that much because technically they have more subs than me. So weird. I don't know. So they're definitely like a lucky one. I could definitely say this much. Maybe be a bit of a dick, but it's like, dude, I put in way more effort than they do or they ever will on their fucking channel. They're not as invested as me. They're clearly a mega casual or something, and I'm a hardcore competitor now turned dev. But regardless, listen to this.
Designs all done by me.
Whatever.
Start dissecting this video.
Get your
Knowledge and all of us being
bad Top Hat. Like, I agree pretty much almost with everything he says. There's only maybe one time thing that I didn't agree with, and it's like, oh, whatever. And I actually agree with them. There, I'll give them one, and I'll bring it up when it does happen. But I got the point that he was getting at, and this person completely misses it. And on top of that, he actually brought up something. I was like, no, he's right, and went deeper into it. And I was like, you know what? He actually changed my mind, and I was like, I was on the fence. Whatever. Again, open mind. This person just, but let me actually skip.
New fighting game content at any point in modern history.
Okay, this
And yeah, he's saying that there is less content now than there ever has in point in history. I absolutely agree with that statement. Let's see what this moron says.
game is hyperbolic to me. 2016, 2021, and 2022 were all
Why the fuck are you talking about 27? Like, they missed completely the point of what he was getting at. Like, you see him saying now this and whatever. It was kind of, again, it is hyperbolic. That's the point of the video. Like, it's crazy when people will take words purely at word value and not understand the point of what they're getting at. This person consistently throughout this video is constantly making that mistake. Like, this person either is socially retarded or doesn't get social cues or something, and it's fucking insane to me.
definitively worse than this year in terms of output. 2021 literally had like Strive and not much else. 2022 had
true.
Multiversus, DNF Duel,
Multiversus isn't even a fighting game. What the fuck are you on about?
KOF 15 to carry.
Like,
Not to say
again, and
KOF
they're gonna
15
make
is
this
bad,
mistake
when
again,
that year
watch.
We had KOF 14 and Street Fighter 5 releasing in their worst states. There were definitely worse years than this year, so I feel like this claim is just here to hype up the video.
Yeah, it is, and the fact that you want to bring it up, like, oh, okay, whatever, you can move on. But it's a bigger point about fighting games in general. You know, I think this specific year doesn't really matter, if I'm being quite honest. I think PS3 was probably the peak in terms of content, but I'm thinking he's talking about in general, because, like, no, past the PS3 era, you know, Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, MVC 3, after those, our content has gone trash. Maybe it could be his fault for not specifying. I am doing a better job. So what? Maybe it could be for critique. Let's get benefit of the doubt, right?
This is absolutely the case, but it's important to consider the context in which the games from Top Hat's era were developed. Fighting games as a whole were far cheaper to produce than they are now. Several fighting games would palette swap characters. There were more frequent releases, and re-releases were incredibly common. Nowadays, AAA-produced fighting games are high risk, high reward. These game tags and require.
Here's the whole thing. It doesn't need to be, and there's actually a point where I kind of agree with both in a sense. But the problem is it doesn't need to be, and this is the problem with modern AAA developing, is that they make everything like. Especially now, again, I'm an actual developer. You don't need to make it high risk, high reward, but they want to because they're greedy.
We're not in the 90s anymore, and gaming has progressed far too much for this to be the standard.
And that was crazy. You just said the thing he's getting at. We have progressed so much. There's no way in hell, and especially like that to me, when you hear that, it sounds like wait. They just proved yourself wrong. Like, that's the point he's making. This is modern. We cannot just have like one of the core things he's talking about that is a product, content, and they are greedy. You can't just have arcade mode and online. That's garbage. Again, repeat the statement that they're applying to like again, just
Top
hear
of
how they
smaller fighting
treated
games like
themselves.
some
Next to nothing.
Yeah, and again, another point that he brings up, again, they're gonna try to dispute is that again, everything that Tap Point is saying is towards that one goal. Like it's one again, he's talking about how fighting games have not evolved past the 90s and early 2000s, and it's been stagnant. Nothing's new, creative, and everything serves for that bigger, higher goal purpose. And then he brings up another thing that part of it, one of those things is indeed greed, and that it is correlated. And this person is saying they're not attacking the core issue; they're talking random points you're gonna notice. And then they're gonna say that greed isn't part of the problem and doesn't correlate. Like, dude, what are you, what?
wrong. Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising was released in... I know this to
So that was about the Game Awards. And the whole thing, first of all, Grand Blue's just mega trash. You can fuck off with that one.
be definitely wrong. Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising was released in December last
So the whole thing they're talking about is that Grand Blue, because it released in December, wasn't in the Game Awards. Oh, but so it has to be in this one. Dude, that shit shouldn't even be on the fucking list. Let's just get that out the way.
say that I think this year hasn't been without its extremely weird nominations for fighting games. Looking directly at Multiverses for this one. The game was nominated in this category back in 2022 and also was heavily panned on its full release. We
Yes.
also got the Marvel vs. Capcom fighting game collection, which was a questionable choice, but also kind of made sense in my head.
To me, it makes
because of all
sense.
the new things that were brought to these old titles. I'll save the last nominee for the next point I'm going to make, so let's continue.
Let's get it. And to me, as far as the fighting game stuff, they're gonna go into it again.
Completely.
Incorrect. The title of this category is fighting games. There is no specific bar on the type of fighting game that it is. That is why you can have Multiversus, a platform fighter, Tekken 8, a traditional fighter, and Sparking 0, an arena fighter, in the same category. To be clear, I think there are better nominations that could have been chosen, specifically swapping out Multiversus and the NBC collection, but we'll get there when we do.
And here's the whole problem with that statement is that there's a reason people get mad at the fighting game community. That's how you know that this person's not FGC at all. When everybody know, especially now, like that's a point that makes sense. But here's the problem. And again, even they bring it up to, we all agree, three of us, the fighting games is mad out of touch. Fighting game category, and then you see again, there's one time where they put primarily like 2D arcade fighting games. I've coined this term, and that's what it should be: 2D arcade fighting games. When people say fighting, that's what it is. I think the bigger problem is that the categorization, when you just put fighting, it could be literally anything. But then even with like, we need to have fighting, like fighters, and then 2D arcade fighting game, right? And even then the problem is that so little come out that's why they even put it. But when we do loop them in, honest reality as an art, again, that's what the game was supposed to be. Fighting games are just so much better than every other genre. It's not even fucking funny. There's not even a biased take. It is what it is. But a huge reason why games like Smash or whatever are even on that list, let's say, because clearly they're not fighting games, is that as a product, they're just superior. And that's one of the points that I think that definitely Top Hat is kind of getting at. And it's crazy that you don't understand why people get upset. Like, because there's two fields of thought. People who don't get it, you just not a hardcore gamer, or you're not part of the FGC. And if you get it, it's like, no, because they're just not the same genre. They really aren't. And it's very clear that they've done this several times. Like, even Sifu, technically on paper, everyone's like, that's a weird choice. You just can't loop them in. They're not the same genre. And if you do loop in games like this, the honest reality is just 2D arcade fighting games are superior to most other fucking fighters. It's not even a fucking joke. As someone who's an avid hardcore gamer and appreciates gaming as an art, this is straight up fact. There's no bullshit. You want to argue this, whatever, it's like, no, like, it's the best way to put it. Imagine we're all scientists and you have like, you don't even have your PhD, and I'm like an old man in his 100 with like 20 PhDs. How the fuck are you gonna tell me I'm fucking wrong? Are you fucking crazy? Whatever. I'm taking too much of the Game Award thing. It's not even the point.
The fact that fighting games were a category. But really, are we surprised? This is
But yeah, the
a
category
category
thing is just.
No wonder the fighting game
Yeah, see,
category
we all agree they're just out of touch in the category system. The fact, yeah, again, the whole thing about measly. The reality is that there's just not gonna be I said, like, people, fighting games are niche. Fighting games outside of the big three are niche. That's an honest truth. And the reality is because the main titles and a lot of the ones just haven't caught the snup with the rest, you know? Like, they're not caught. Like I said, to me, the biggest disappointment is the fact that Street Fighter 6 did not make Call of Duty Black Ops 2 numbers. It honestly should have. And you guys can check out my podcast and even times like CPT Tour, whatever, that right now, especially in the West, it's not doing anything. Like, no one really cares. And he talks about this game. There's a whole shindig about that. I won't get into it. I'm gonna be honest. See, again, and I'm doing a better job than because I'm at least summarizing instead of playing the whole video.
Regardless, not only is the audience for this game really small, but the game's mixed reception is worse than what Top Hat is describing. The reason is due to bouncing and game-breaking errors that were somehow missed in development. Like, for example, with one of the characters, his throws were just making the game level completely shift. It was really...
See, again, why are you specifically focused on this I think it's irrelevant to the bigger thing. He's making a point. Why the fuck are you talking about it? And like, if you want to, they make a separate thing, like, oh, make it short, whatever.
Weird. I wish it had a bit
to
more
me,
to
I
it,
don't.
but overall, it's still a decent game, and things have been getting patched out slowly. So
Yeah, and again, that's fine. I mean, I don't know. Okay, they were short. I respect it. Another thing too, you even agree that fucking brings up Under Night. Under Night did get cucked, but Under Night as a product sucks dick. There's a reason I picked Tekken over Under Night. Like, it's all offline content is fucking laughable. That's why it got forgotten. Further proving kind of his point that why fighting games are behind. Under Night is, it doesn't feel like a real sequel. Like, what the. I'm not gonna like, you know, and it is what it is.
Just like slamming the old Marvel vs. Capcom games together, for example. They're not a game of the year. The Game Awards are a complete joke.
I
Yes, they are.
absolutely agree. Under
Yeah,
Night
see,
Inverse
all of
was
us.
snubbed so hard, and for Multiverses to get nominated twice, it does go to show that the Game Awards are extremely out of touch.
See,
You'll notice that
we're
I'm
all
agreeing
agreeing on
on a
that.
lot of these points, and if this was a video just about the Game Awards being weird, I don't think I'd be here making this video right now. The problem starts
True, same with
after
me.
the Game Awards.
Rivals of A2 is a 2.5D.
No one cares about Rivals. I don't even know what it is. Who gives a shit.
Highly praised for its simplicity, depth, and accessibility. The inclusion of new mechanics
What is wrong with this thing?
like I do.
And really did
I feel
live
it's
up to it.
immaculately
It's
irrelevant to the point. It has nothing to do with what we're doing. For both of them, I'm gonna be honest.
For once, the rise of esports infrastructure driven by platforms like Twitch and YouTube has made fighting game tournaments more accessible than ever to a global audience. Events like EVO and Capcom Pro Tour now have the reach to showcase the
off the rails a
Basically,
little
it's the
bit.
whole
Top Hat
thing-
has conflated
Oh
2
my-
points to be about the same thing.
Okay, so this one is a weird. Again, it's notice how I keep bringing up what the core thing that Top Hot Gaming is getting at. That as a product, they suck. They've not innovated. They have not touched on that point. That's the core thing. Everything is serving for that purpose. They never once address it. Never once. Like, you're fucking idiot. So that's why I'm nitpicking your stupid shit. And like, I don't know what point you're trying to fucking make. You're trying to. But the whole point he's making with the whole esports thing, it is true. I was kind of whatever, but how esports, the esportsification has kind of ruined fighting games and has even led to the downfall and the greedy of it. This is true. We'll let them talk. I'll even break down why
He has
specifically.
greedily shifted towards extending the lifespans of existing titles through DLC.
See, risking investment. Absolutely correct. He's right. That's nothing wrong. This is true. This is all AAA. They don't want to take risk. Or again, make a small game, small project. Completely true. They want to go all in. Same with esports. I'm looking at Rainbow Six Siege. That's why that shit's garbage.
And here's where we go off the rails a little bit.
How?
Top Hat has conflated 2 points to be about the same thing, being the esportsification of fighting games and companies being greedy. Yes,
Literally, it is. Because here's the thing. Why this is what's stupid. That why you know it is partially greed. Why would companies invest in esports if there's no money involved? Fucking retard.
so they are separate issues. For anyone who wants a really good in-depth analysis of how we got here in terms of fighting games,
No, they are. It's called esports, bro. Like, are you fucking stupid? It is the same issue. You fucking bellend.
Sports, please watch Scrappy Sensei's video called The FGC Esports Dream is Dead. It is an incredible video that explains what I'm going to summarize here. Basically, fighting games have always been grassroots in their esports approach, and this never actually changed.
First of all, when they were grassroots, that's not esports. Esports mean official capacity when there's money, this and that. Before it was nothing more than people getting together and having fun. And yeah, that's the reason why fighting games will have and always will be around is grassroots. But that's not esports. That's fucking stupid. People getting to get casual, that's just people playing, because people do this all the time. That's not esports. Then what's even the point of saying esports? That term is new and everything. Like, the second there's money involved, that's esports. And the esportsification has kind of, to a degree, ruined a lot of things. And part of grassroots, and especially the whole thing with grassroots, is that, oh, the trash talking this. And to me, I don't mind some esportsification. The problem is when it gets a bit too corporatized and we lose a lot of the soul of make the FGC. To me, the bigger problem is the product. That's a whole different discussion and stuff. But, like, I'm gonna be honest, I want to smack the shit out of this. Like, that shit pissed me off so much. Like, dude, you don't know anything. Like, I've actually been involved with esports. And mind you, I was okay. I'm like, you know what? I'm okay when I'm having a curse, because being esports means we have to appeal to a younger audience. Like, there were things that you understand you have to sacrifice, right? Like, we can have our grassroots tournaments and our esports tournaments. They are not the same thing. Like, seriously, no, esports means it's an official capacity. There are rules, regulations. Whereas there ain't no rule. You someone pissing, you can throw fucking hands. Granted, it wasn't a goal, whatever, but that means you might not be invited or some bullshit. I'm not like, grassroots FGC is fucking wild, you know? But hold up, I gotta hear to get just how stupid that shit is.
It is an incredible video that explains what I'm going to summarize here. Basically, fighting games have always been grassroots in their esports approach, and this never
Again, well, yeah, yeah, when they come to the esports, but sure, but like,
actually changed. In fact, it's because of the absence of teams for fighting games due to the nature of it being a 1v1 genre, the grassroots approach of esports is where fighting games will always reside. It has never and will never be in the cards for us. Developers know this, but to curb the issue of having to tell players to relearn games for franchises they play every couple of years, these games get longer support and lifespans, unless it's Mortal Kombat, of which case WB just shoves their middle finger in your face. This is actually
the funny thing is the support for these games has been 1000% by the community, and the only one to really go ahead and capitalize on that, and even still to this day, might be say Tekken. It's primarily Street Fighter, whereas Tekken and Mortal Kombat jumped on the bandwagon. This is a whole thing I seen a community forum where grassroots was really attempted for Mortal Kombat, and it always got cucked. It wasn't until Mortal Kombat 9 where there was more of a scene, and the only reason the Mortal Kombat community got was because literally NetherRealm stepped in to help the scene. Like, literally, Mortal Kombat's grassroots is so weak and trash that the only way they even survived was because of NetherRealm. The complete opposite of how the FGC is. Like, FGC doesn't need esports. Mortal Kombat does. That's the difference. Esports is when there's an official capacity and something's involved, like a company, you know? So, just, they don't get
and
it.
Top Hat does not seem to grasp this point.
You don't seem to grasp this point. Fuck you. It pisses me off. Again, competed, commentated, know people who are in the business. Like, fuck me, dude.
The competitive nature and play of fighting games is ridiculously important, and it's actually why multiverses fell flat on its face not once, but twice.
No. You again, dude, don't understand. Again, it's crazy, dude. I think the problem is with some of these youngins, they don't understand that fighting 2D arcade fighting games have nothing to do with platformer or arena fighters. The real reason multiverse is fucked up is because it's a lackluster fucking product, which actually it has in common with fighting games. I'll tell you right now, as someone who actually understands and making indie game themselves, like you have to look at it from a consumer standpoint. When I'm giving money, what am I getting? I'm paying $70 and season pass. Okay, I get arcade mode. I get out. That's it. And then maybe some mediocre ass story mode from fucking Tekken 8 that's garbage. Multiverses, you get absolutely nothing. Okay, I play online, play with friends. Oh, that's it. They don't understand why Smash Ultimate is so successful. And first of all, it's the IPs. Number one, the main reason people play them is the IPs. It ain't no one out here trying to play competitive fucking multiverses. That's why it fell in its face. One, no platform arena fighters and Mortal Kombat are super casual oriented games. The average person could give two shits less about playing them competitively, and they will never care. Like I said, when I seen the Mortal Kombat forums and everything, that's what it is. Unless the company themselves support it. That's why we saw people even enter Warner Brothers at all for multiverses, purely because there was a prize pool. When there's money involved, everyone will give a fuck. I seen someone talked about it, how there was a volunteer work for football and to be coaches, and no one cares. But well, the second there's money involved, now everybody wants to get involved. They'll have people that never fucking touch a soccer ball. Oh, now they care. That's all it is. It's literally the money. They could give two shits less, right? And then the other thing is, too, these games just aren't inherently competitive like fighting games. That's why you can't mention them in the same breath. It's insulting. It's literally insulting. Again, someone who commentated. You have no idea how hard the hatred goes for fucking like games like Smash and their community, dude. It is deep fucking rooted, and it's not gonna wait. And I'll tell you this right now: people who will gaslight you into saying, "Oh no, this, that, whatever," I'm telling you right now, they're lying to your face. There's not a single commentator or pro player I've ever met that doesn't fucking hate the Smashing. Like, mind you, we like the game. There ain't no beef there. Fucking hate Smashers. Hate the community, everything, like, nothing to do with them. Fucking crazy. Hold on, let's see.
The competitive nature and play of fighting games is ridiculously important, and it's actually why multiverses fell flat on its face.
Again, multiverses did not, it is not a competitive game. It fell flat because it did not understand, like I said, at the end of the day, because of this quote focus. The maps, again, I like Smash Ultimate. Why do I like it? Good offline content. 8-player offline, outside of the member characters. Multiverses doesn't have any of that. Oh, also really good maps. Multiverses has 1, no offline content. 2, no 8-player mode. 3, the maps, for the most part, are whack as fuck. You clearly do not understand how actual marketing, video gaming, production, or sales works in the slightest. You bellend. You look at this from some weird perspective. I don't know. See, you are the same people. You are who would be working in multiverses, and you don't understand. You look at it like, again, I guess there's some morons that say, "Oh, Smash is big because it's competitive." Dude, no, Smash is nowhere near what it is because of its quote competitive. Just because a bunch of pedophiles want to fucking rub their dick on a fucking GameCube controller. Like, no, it's a good ass fucking game. It's a quality product. Most importantly, Multiverses is a terrible fucking product. That's the main reason it fails, and it has everything set up for it. The IPs, clearly a dev team that knows what they're trying to do. Fun, and it's a fun game, but maps are weak as shit. There's nothing unique like the Rainbow Road or left and right. Like, I actually understand as a gamer what makes a game appealing. Multiverses is just boring. I have no reason to want to come. And that's again, why do I still randomly always go back to play Smash? It's a good ass party fighter. At the end of the day, Smash is a party fighter. Every time I heard this, same with Nickelodeon, and definitely more multiverses, when they're focused, platform fighter. Like, no, it's a crossover party fighter. The second you don't even acknowledge that means you missed it. You don't know who your target demographic is, and the fact that this person, like, I want to punch him in the fucking gut, dude. I'm just like, oh, fuck me, bro. People's stupidity pisses me off.
Not once, but twice. Interestingly enough, companies being greedy is being presented as the reason for them doing this, when that clearly is not the case here.
Oh, no, it is. They would have never made it if it wasn't, like, are you fucking crazy, dude? That's the only reason. There is no passion. There's no drive. They're doing it purely for money. And the bigger problem that has been brought up before that someone mentions, that the real problem with Multiverse is the fact that Warner Brothers has so many of these IPs. It's like, this is concerning. The fact this game exists and it's so easy is concerning. And again, the only reason they're doing it, money. That's the reason AAA new stuck is money. Like, how the fuck are you not seeing this, dude? What? This fucker has to be a smasher or something, though.
The situation going on here is that we're seeing companies add DLC and support for games people put in the work to learn and compete in. Why hit the reset button on something you know works, especially when you just stated that the cost to develop fighting games are ridiculously high? You can't expect both competitive longevity and quick game turnaround in the same breath without
Wait, hold on. What the fuck did
You
he say?
just stated that the cost to develop fighting games are ridiculously high.
Mm-hmm.
You can't expect both competitive longevity and quick
You can't expect legitimacy.
game turnaround in the same breath without exhausting a studio of money and staff.
Yes, you can. You can't exhaust money, staff. Like, it's called management. Is it again? It's the kind of like the ball thing. Is it crazy to have normal standards? Like to me, is it crazy to request? Hey, can I actually have something to do besides just boring 1v1s and 2v2s with no items? See, also the other thing, no items. Like it. And again, Warner Brothers, especially, you have the money. What the fuck are you talking about? It's a half-ass excuse. Like, to me, the only one that makes sense is indie fighters. I feel like they're the only ones that can kind of get away with it. So what the fuck are you on about?
In fact, this is one of the most commonly panned aspects of Mortal Kombat. So sorry for the Mortal Kombat hatred in this video, by the way.
No, it's
Being
Mortal
that
Kombat.
They
You can hate
strive
it.
to have a competitive tour and base, but also turn over games at double the rate of Street Fighter and Tekken. And
First of all, they don't strive for a competitive thing. They don't. They strive to sell copies and numbers. That's why, again, as a product, they are better than other fighting games. They clearly deliver in a story mode. That's their focus. Like, the competitive thing is honestly an afterthought. Like, genuinely, it fucking is. Fucking Bellin again.
in this video, by the way, being that they strive to have a competitive tour and
They don't strive. Like, that's so crazy to me. Like, what the fuck are you saying?
but also turn over games at double the rate of Street Fighter and Tekken and kill support for games far too quickly.
Yeah, because they're super casual. They kill them quickly. And you want to, it's not even them. Like, you can see it in the people. Most people stop giving a shit after 1 to 3 months. And NetherRealms knows this. They're playing the smart thing. The average Mortal Kombat player already wants their new game. The reason they pump this out and cut support, because they just want the new thing. Like, they're being smart. They are looking at their analytics. They're not morons. Again, and at the end of the day, the average Mortal Kombat player, like, they just don't give a shit about the fucking pro scene. Like, you're out of touch as fuck. That's this person's problem. They live in some weird bubble I didn't even know exist. It ain't FGC, that's for fucking sure. Because everyone in the FGC knows this. You can talk to anyone, they'll know. Oh yeah, dude, no one gives a shit. Oh yeah, normies don't really give a fuck about. Like, it's simply just a fine. It sells so well because it appeals to the average person. It has its gimmick, gore. It delivers on it. Oh, as a product, for the most part, it delivers on it. You know, outside of that, I don't give a shit about the mechanics. I don't give a shit about the fucking tour. The reason why Tekken and Street Fighter, I think, and for a lot of reasons, don't appeal, besides not being as good products objectively compared to Mortal Kombat, depending on Mortal Kombat, clearly, and depending on the game, is that fucking also they're harder. Is that what's your gimmick? Like, what is the reason you play Street Fighter 6 for? Obviously, because it's a better fighting game, but to the average person, and take it from me who didn't get into Street Fighter, I played Mortal Kombat. I knew that Mortal Kombat, I came for the fatalities and gore. Street Fighter, I'm like, I don't really get what the point is. Yeah, sure, you fight, but now other fighting games do that. Tekken, I also don't get the point besides it's 3D, because I'm like, oh, if I want 3D, I could play Naruto Storm. You know, there's nothing really to, like, what's the gimmick, right? I feel like the gimmick for both of those isn't as strong. Also, it's also primarily advertisement. At the end of the day, trust me, as someone who talked to someone who went to college for that shit, like, it really just boils down to advertisement. And we all have to agree, NetherRealm knows how to advertise their game. Like, they've kept that thing, like, they've kept the train rolling since the 90s. Street Fighter and Tekken have fucking not. Especially Tekken. Arguably, Tekken has botched their fucking, like, it's weird. For years, it wasn't until Tekken 7 where they really picked up their advertisement. I'll give them credit where credit's due. Where Street Fighter, outside of the announcement for World Tour and the first teaser for SF6, they slack for the mainstream, in my opinion.
This strategy is compounded by the dominance of legacy franchises, which helps, but they also
Yeah.
Guilty Gear.
saturated the trees.
So you know who else did that really well to the point of booting MK1 out of the big three at EVO? Guilty Gear Strive and Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. They kept supporting the game continuously, and they've become the games that are shaking what the big three of fighting games looks like, or if a big
First of all, those are niches. Those aren't really the big three. Like, again, further proving, like, the main reason Strive popped on, again, back to advertising. They didn't pop out support, this, that, whatever. They actually advertised. They contacted VTubers, YouTubers, streamers. Like, Arxis put an effort in advertisement. That's the real #1 reason Strive even sold at least 1 million copies. And right now, as it stands, like, the fact that it overtook Mortal Kombat wasn't because it sold more than Mortal Kombat. Fuck no. Because Mortal Kombat was so bad, the competitive scene just said, fuck it. So it just wasn't popular. At the end of the day, they're going to pick over entries, not sales numbers. That's the only reason Strive. And even then, calling it the big three is a bit of a fucking stretch. Like, it's only, okay, sure. But nah, dude, no, the average person doesn't give a shit about Strive anymore. They could care less. You know, there's a lot of things they did within Strive to make it more appealing. But right now, me, as someone who actually competed and was top 100 Potemkin for that game, Arxis doesn't know how to patch, and they don't know how to announce their patches or anything. They're garbage. Like, outside of its initial hype, no one gives a shit. Strive's a garbage-ass fucking game. And apparently the community's really toxic. I don't know what the fuck's going on there.
3 should even be a thing anymore. Top Hat is, again, combining these two issues into one problem and then drawing the absolute wrong conclusion out of both issues here.
In fairness, this
Wait.
contract is-
How?
That is
No, he's
continuously-
not wrong. Top Hat is correct. the only fighting games that flourish are the big ones, and they only keep making the same shit. He's absolutely correct. That's why other fighting games are in niches. But to be also fair, at the end of the day, they just can't compete. Like these indie fighters, they just can't compete. They don't have the budget or time or effort or experience to make anything half as good as Street Fighter and Tekken, and I'm gonna be honest, those are not high bars. Their content is extremely lackluster. Or who knows? Maybe it just takes really creative, but it's a lot to match up. It is really tough, especially for indie deving. But the real again, like I'll say it once, is again, marketing, marketing, marketing. Can't say enough of that.
And they've become the games that are shaking what the big three of fighting games looks like. Or
Again, they're not shaking. Grand Blue's garbage. I will never stop saying Grand Blue's fucking so trash.
Anymore. Top Hat is, again, combining these two issues into one problem and then drawing the absolute wrong conclusion out of both
It
issues
is
here.
the correct conclusion.
Part of the reason Tekken and Street Fighter can get away with sending us new content for the same games year after year is by leveraging our nostalgia.
So,
yeah, 1000%.
More on the nostalgia point in a bit, but the problem here is that you cannot convince me fully that a whole new Darkstalkers entry would sell as well as Street Fighter 6 would. You just can't convince me of that, I'm sorry. I love Darkstalkers as well.
So, okay, they make the point that the whole thing is that Darkstalkers and rival schools that... I mean, that's such a weird thing to bring up, but he's right. He's completely right. Fucking... Yeah, no, look, there's a good reason. Like, even Top Hat, like, that's just being, like, a fan, but, like, how What's-His-Face said, a fan is entitled to his opinions and everything. And, yeah, as fans, it would make sense, at least, again, like I said, make a small project. What's stopping you from making, oh, here's a little rival schools or a little Darkstalkers, which I think they tried in Darkstalkers. But, or, again, like I said, we even had Akira in Street Fighter. I wish they put someone else. And put her with her helmet to not spoil, assholes. But no, they definitely make a good point. I'll give them that yeah, no, it's statistically and economically, it doesn't make sense to have rival schools or Darkstalkers. It just, there is no money in there. Sorry, no one really gives a shit. Which is, again, super weird how they're not seeing the main point. It's weird how they're almost treating themselves. They've already done it 2 fucking times.
No. Want to know how I know this? The modern ports of Darkstalkers.
Yeah, weird.
It's not a massive at the time to do it either. Yeah. Also, we will not pretend of the climate of the FGC right now. Even though I love it, Killer Instinct is a tough franchise to reboot. It's ultimately just business, but Top Hat isn't looking at this logistically and instead looking at it through his own wants and needs.
And again, you're allowed to, like, but the thing is, he never once mentioned, like, and like he said, there needs to be more innovation, whatever, and again, maybe he didn't bring it up, but to me, it's like, again, you don't have to go all out on all these things, just make smaller ones. Capcom used to do that. Again, this person's not FGC focused, nor do they understand it, but I'll give them props or props too. At least they get the logistics of it. But that doesn't mean you get to discredit. Like, again, people ask for this. You should make them. They are your fans. They're there for the reason. You don't have to. Again, like, most people don't give a shit about these indie things. Like, I don't give a fuck about Crash Bandicoot or again, a lot of things that I even grew up with, because they're just not games I really fuck with. But I wouldn't mind if, oh shit, you know, there's like a little Crash Bandicoot game. Oh, it's like $20. I might get it. 15 and no. Again, small project. Don't invest all this much, and it's free money. Why wouldn't you do it? And then, you know, if it doesn't make returns, again, if you're just making a small game that costs $10-15 and that itself couldn't make returns, and, you know, fuck it, it's a dead ass IP in the water kind of shit. And I think Darkstalkers is definitely there because, again, they tried in the PS3 and nobody gave a fuck. That one's fair. Rival Schools, I think, stands a much stronger chance, but again, you don't know. And then they call it the Capcom test.
A tough franchise to reboot. It's ultimately.
But yeah, no, KI's dead in the water. Like, the devs are gone and everything. See, but they probably don't. This dude don't probably even know that shit. So we're not getting another KI. There's a whole thing. Maximilian's talked about it.
Yes, but it is not the sole.
To keep fans invested by tapping into our love for what's familiar, rather than taking risks with something fresh.
You know, he's right. They don't take risk at all. Like maybe they'll take a risk with the mechanics, but that's it. That's literally it. But Street Fighter 6 is the least risky. It's like watered down versions of every mechanic from every other Street Fighter.
Nostalgia is a factor, yes, but it is not the sole factor. Also, Aki dropped year 1 as the second character for Street Fighter 6's DLC. What do you mean? Also, the most calculated move for
that doesn't matter. They'll flop new shit and try to get you into that and then sell you like it's nostalgic. So what do you mean?
I guess it'd be the fact that Ken and Chun-Li are going to be in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, and Mai and Terry are in Street Fighter 6 to cross promote the games. That's not nostalgia. That's cross promo for a lesser known franchise to add a potential layer of.
It's still nostalgia. Shut the hell up.
Foolproofing to make sure it works by encouraging a massive audience. Like Street Fighter
Noctis and Negan are not nostalgia.
This actually promotes the thing that Top Hat wants the gaming industry to achieve, being the creativity and bringing back of older franchises. Fatal Fury was dormant for 25 years, so having a massive cross promotion with Capcom makes it so that this game immediately has all eyes on it. Think of it this way: let's say Top Hat is right in that Darkstalker should return, which I would love to see. I think it's a hard sell. Give you Ryu and Akuma, or Devil Jun and Nina, or Hotaru.
Okay, yeah, they kind of say the same thing. But yeah, just because only one Garo Mark of the Wolves, and I think, okay, at first, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it wasn't gonna do. I think it might do get it, but just purely because of the Ronaldo. Again, advertising. See, SNK knows what they're doing, but SNK is the only one that is. And here's the thing, I can't blame Top Hat. Again, you should know too. No one gives a shit about SNK. You just forget about them, and who knows? We'll see. We'll see. We could be proven wrong. Like, straight up, like we want to be, right? Like, I'm even gonna get Garo purely because of the Ronaldo thing. But before, I didn't really give a shit. So like, I don't play SNK. I don't play KOF like that. I don't get, mind you, it's an insult. You know, it's a blasphemy because I'm Mexican. You know, we're supposed to play that shit. But it's like, again, it's crazy how socially inept this person is. Like, you know, it's like, dude, the fact that he forgot about SNK, let's be real, every now and then, shit kind of goes to show you that it barely makes it like, yeah, you know, even these things don't happen. The bigger problem is that the big three, and then someone in the comments says, every time something Street Fighter has a problem, all the FGC has a problem. Yes, it does, because every other fighting game combined does not match the sales number, production, quality, or hype, or how it moves the FGC or in the tournament scene. At best way to put it, I quit Tekken because its fucking competitive scene is garbage. You want to pay a goddamn welfare check for being World Tour. Meanwhile, Capcom is out here giving millions. Are you fucking wasted?
Your guess makes sense. I don't slam. It works out. Not everything is.
Because again, how you're not gonna bring Ape Source and shit like that? Like you know, there is no esports scene. Like I said before, I will say this again. Unless you're playing Call of Duty or Street Fighter, do not bother in esports. Wasting your time, money, and effort. Hands down.
The way you're thinking it is. There's usually
it just is. And if you do it, if you do it for fun and because you love it, hey, power to you, bro. You know, if anything, the second guess is I would say some MLG shooter, like I don't know, whatever is relevant at that moment, whether it's your Fortnite or Gears if it's still around, maybe Halo for like a month till everyone fucks off, and fucking MK's okay money. I mean, heck, it's free money if anything. Just ask fucking Sonic Fox. You know, but for competitive drive, yeah, don't go to MK. Just go for the money. I mean, I tried, but MK1 is a shitty PC for it.
But that revisits beloved franchises and characters over and over and over and over again is a safer bet than investing in new IPs or providing.
And no, they're not gonna invest in new ones. But I think at that point, they should and they could, but they won't. Again, they don't. Again, it goes to AAA industry problem. They don't want to invest in small projects. They always want to go all out now and try to. Again, it is greed. 1000% it's greed. That's a point that he brought up, and I was like, no, he's completely right. It never occurred to me I did greed, but. Nah, that is actually the core reason why we're not getting innovation. It's greed. They want to play it safe. And again, them sticking to what's safe. No, it's true.
Rewind a bit to the point about confusing issues with one another. Moving on.
How? It is. You fucking what?
Developers of fighting games are Bandai Namco, ArcSys, NetherRealm Studios, and Capcom. While it is true that Riot, who made League of Legends, is currently making 2XKO, the crossover of developers making the genres the Top Hat is listing is incredibly minimal. On top of this, why do you think Riot, a company notorious for making huge cuts for their games, would be ballsy enough to make a fighting game based on an IP stemming from a completely separate genre of video game than the one that they are currently developing? There is clearly a market there. Other companies want to...
Riot is doing it because League is dying. And they're greedy. Like, Riot is clearly greedy. Like, first of all, Riot is garbage. They got their Chinese spyware cuck bullshit. It's everywhere. How do you not see this? It's greed. Yeah, there is a market. And they're like, we could capitalize on that. Like, dude, it's not even crazy that Riot's just throwing, like, it's not crazy to think that companies, let's just throw darts at the board to see what happens. Same thing would happen when people invested in esports. And then when they realize it's not worth it, they back the fuck off. And trust me, the same thing's going to happen with 2XKO. That shit's not going to last as an esport. Might have, because it'll be same like DNF Duel. People will come in, they don't really actually like playing fighting games. They like playing real games, like the morons who made shitty fucking World of Warcraft and they played Elden Ring. I can't do this because they know how to play a real game. I'm calling it 2XKO is not going to save the FGC like everyone thinks it is. Fuck no. Like, the real market, like, there totally is. Like, fighting as a genre is not a niche. But the reason Riot does it is because they want to cuck everyone else in the fighting game thing because they know for sure free to play is the way to go. They know that for sure. And they already have a pre-existing fan base and that can help, and they're probably going to advertise it. And then from there, hope for the best. You know, Valorant, I get it. It's relevant in a sense, but it's not touching the numbers of Counter-Strike or any other shooter, nor is it taken serious, nor does anyone give a fuck. I mean, heck, I barely hear anything. That's good, thank God. So it goes straight. At the end, and let's say even if they had a million, the fact that I didn't hear about it or nothing shows you it doesn't mean shit. In the next year or something, we ain't gonna hear about it. Thank God, because Valorant is just gay ass Overwatch. Or my bad, gay ass Counter-Strike.
So bad. WB fumbled so hard with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League that they put their faith in Mortal Kombat 1. Not that they should, but it demonstrates the faith companies have in this community. Bamco literally has said.
Not really. No, they don't really have faith. They're just like, oh, okay, this one. Have you heard an earnings call from these places? This person's so out of touch. They don't realize that it's just corporates at the top. Very few people with passion. Again, there's a reason indie developers are killing it. Like, dude, what the fuck? Can we just get into a ring? Can I just beat this person up? Like, I just want to beat people up who are fucking idiots. I don't know why I'm so tight. Maybe because I'm tired.
These games have incredible power. This is just a false equivalency that's here to overinflate Top Hat's weak argument.
Like, the problem is, to me, if you ask me, like, there's like, you just don't see the potential. Like, even to me, I see other people, like, no one gives a shit, bro. Like again, clearly, like, look, Uncharted technically is fighting, and even COD, there is fighting. Fighting is a huge, I mean, look, there's a reason Naruto Storm sells well. But the problem is that that competitive 2D arcade fighting games are just becoming like almost like a niche in a sense, and there's a reason no one gives a shit if you ain't Mortal Kombat, Tekken, or Street Fighter. It's just a niche thing because we're so irrelevant. We're out of fucking touch, and talking about stupid shit that doesn't matter is making it worse. That's why I'm making this video.
Unfortunately, the financial success of new fighting games often doesn't match the dedication of their fan base, making publishers hesitant to take a chance on fresh ideas. As for the rise of fighting games now being...
It's true, no, that they're not making the expectations they want to. The only one that does is Mortal Kombat. And yeah, why would they change? Mortal Kombat has no real reason to change. And the funny thing is a product that is better than the rest. Like, okay, let's put this, whatever. All right, cool, move on. Like, it's a consistent money maker. It's a breadwinner. And at the end of the day, it's guaranteed effort that they know they put in. Okay, let's put our graphics, cutscenes. All right, let's go home. You know, as an art, Mortal Kombat's definitely the weakest out of all of them. The main thing with Street Fighter, no, Street Fighter is really good at cooking its fans. They milk the shit out of Street. This is not a secret, you know. And Capcom is the best at doing this. It's greed. Like, come on, bro. Capcom is clearly the greediest. The fact they're already charging 70, that's greed, 100%. A game when it charges 70, that's immediate greed. If you cannot understand that, that's crazy, bro. There's a great video that talked about that no game should be past 60. Because at the end of the day, it's a lot of marketing and whatnot, you know. It has nothing to do with the actual product itself. And even as a product, none of these games justify a $70 price tag. In this economy, fuck no. Out of touch. Capcom's out of touch, like I said. I talked about my video where I talked about the Capcom dude is out of touch.
Point. Fighting games have become more insular and have a steep learning curve, yeah, but when you're locked into this community, you're locked in.
Why are you not making this about the community? This is, again, he's talking about them for sure as a product. We want people to get into the community. What can we do better? I think modern controls was a great step in the right direction. There are things like I think there are ways. BB Tag has proven that there are ways we can make this learning curve less steep while still retaining a lot of depth we have. And guess what? One of those core things is we have no offline content. World Tour, I've known people that have gone into Street Fighter purely because of World Tour. I've gone and taught nooblets. And guess what? They use modern and they only play Avatar battles. They don't touch ranked or anything. What do we have for these people to get better? This is the problem. The problem with fighting games was never the difficulty, believe it or not. Or, you know, this and that. People will play something because they like it. Again, people play Smash. I didn't care that it was easy. That's their favorite character. What do you give them to do? If Smash only had 2v2 and then online, and shitty online, no one would give a fuck about Smash. Why do they like it? Oh, let me go to Abyss mode. Oh my god, I could play co-op. Oh, I could play with everybody. Oh my god, look at all the fun. Oh, look at all the cool maps. Like, there are reasons for you to play and come back. Fighting games do not give you a good reason to play. Like I said, the person asked for my help. They played World Tour. They have like a couple hours. And they're like, I don't even want to touch. They came to me. I want to learn. Like, think about that. Because of the fact Street Fighter 6 actually had offline content and it was good, they had a good stepping stone and wanted to go to the next step. That's the real issue here. You know?
Again, conflating these arguments with one another for the sake of
not completing. I had a fucking dick slap you for that
points.
shit.
Fighting games have become more insular and have a steep learning curve, yeah, but when you're locked into this community, you're locked in.
I don't know why you want to talk, like, yeah. Fuck me, dude. The more I hear it, the more it annoys me. Like, fighting games are definitely steep. They don't have to be. Like I said, imagine if a game, like, again, the Zelda approach. Imagine if a game, and this is the core problem with fighting games, again, even if we do make single player Street Fighter win in the decent direction, imagine if any game, whether it's Democrat, this and that, give you all the tools immediately. You wouldn't know how to use them, and you might actually get fucked up because you know. Whereas in Zelda, okay, here's a sword. You slowly introduce new elements and tools so they could learn them one piece at a time. Fighting games little don't have a offline content, and if they do, like I said, Soul Calibur doesn't go about this great, even though it has decent fucking offline. But it's not a great way to teach someone how to get better at the game. The problem is not the difficulties. The learning tools are garbage, and it's not a secret that you see. But
that's why our competitive scene is so big, and why so many smaller games try.
It's not very big. I mean, or it is and it isn't. But I feel the way they're describing it, no. I don't know. I'm just being.
I for those bigger stages and work their asses off to get there. What boggles my mind here is that Top Hat has laid out the divide between indie and AAA fighters incredibly, but manages.
There is a huge divide. Are you fucking crazy? Like, no one, dude. I don't even give a shit about indie fighting games. Like, 80% of them, I don't care. I am going to keep it real with you. I don't give a shit because I look at them and go, wow, they're doing absolutely nothing new. Like, indie game developers, listen to me. Please make offline content. Idol Showdown has actually oddly made one of the most innovative offline content we have ever had. We need to step up our fucking game. My bad. You know what? Indie fighting game developers, how about you give me all the work you do? You give it to me. And I will take credit for it because y'all motherfuckers don't know what the fuck you're doing. There, that's what I've said. I'm gonna put my dick on the fucking table.
By saying wham companies want profits in DLC, when that is only part of the issue and varies dramatically based off of what game you're talking about to begin.
Dude, they're all like that. All of them, not counting indies. Indies are, no, 100% indies. No. Well, give us that. It's not about greed. But for the other ones, it is. And at the end of the day, they do matter. Because, first of all, I'm calling it right now. Outside of maybe my indie fighting game, no one's going to give a shit. And there's nothing an indie fighting game can do unless they, again, innovate. And none of them are. To bring up the, again, we need them to step up. And here's the thing. I'm a developer because they're not stepping up.
With.
This has led to a golden age of competitive play, and a trouble in the
I hate that if people say this is the golden age of fighting games, bro. We're still in the Bronze Age. The fact that we barely had a world tour and it could be better, we're at the peak of Bronze Age. That's where we're at. We're not in the Gold Age, bro. $70 characters that are legacy being DLC. Like, there's too many things you can name that are trash. Like, there's a reason people are discontent with Tekken 7. Like, come on. You know, like, I'm glad that's why I've seen this video. I'm like, oh my god, someone like. The fact that this person, again, doesn't understand that. Like, they're coping. They're the country. Oh, we're definitely in the Gold Age. No, we're not, bitch. And again, yeah, I like the. No, he's wrong. Profits are.
Cling to their monopolies like dogs with an old bone. Studios seem content to milk their golden geese dry, re-releasing the same games from the same series with shiny new coats of paint and sprinkling a few nostalgia-driven DLC packs to keep us hooked. Meanwhile, any hope for bold, fresh entries in the genre is brushed aside as too risky because heaven forbid publishers take a chance on innovation when they can just sell us the same games for another decade.
That is
literally the AAA industry in a nutshell. He is right. Like, all of you universal fighting games, you're like, he's right as fuck. Fighting games are no different. Again, primarily non-indie. And let's see what this dumbass says. I want y'all to get mad at them. Holy fuck, man. Wow, I'm actually not that pissed, by the way. Fun fact, this video, shout outs to the one that's like, I get mad for fun. I'm like, you know what, that is very true. But it's like, what the fuck? How... You know what? I'm done.
Franchises come back, they're entirely different, even if there's remnants of their previous selves. Street Fighter 6 reinvented itself with its combat systems and new characters. Tekken 8 furthered its...
The only thing it reinvented was drive gauge, and that's it. But the mechanics and everything, like, we got booty version FADC in terms of drive rush and the armor. Perfect parry is way too fucking broken. Throw looping is stupid. Their input system doesn't fucking work. Again, it shows you they don't know shit.
Story improved upon its graphics significantly and added...
No, it did not. RE engine is trash.
Fighter 6 reinvented itself with its combat systems and new characters. Tekken 8 furthered its story and improved upon its graphics significantly.
Its story is really fucking bad, I'm gonna be honest. It's fun, but it's bad.
And added a variation of modern controls for newer players. Hell, Mortal Kombat looks like a different franchise every time it returns at this point. I don't know where this point's coming from.
What the fuck are you on about?
Because heaven forbid publishers take a chance on innovation when they can just
That...
Yeah, they are the same games, dude. Like, just because they put on a new he literally said new coat of paint. And graphics are a new coat of paint, you fucking bellend. SF6, I'll give it that. It is the most innovative. Tekken has innovated the least. Mortal Kombat does change the shit up a lot, but I'm gonna be honest, I feel like Mortal Kombat's almost irrelevant to this conversation. And again, at the end of the day, it doesn't disclose his point. Again, no, if anything, again, they try to, oh my god, look, here's Sector as DLC. Like for every one thing that, okay, no, see, like, they're being nitpicky. They're being nitpicky, dude. Fuck off. So yeah, Street Fighter 6 has innovated the most when it comes to mechanics, but it's a lot of rehashing. Mortal Kombat is probably the best on this list, but they still have the problem of selling you legacy characters, which, trust me, I think that's the worst thing you do in a fighting, hands down. Hands down. Actual average consumers, I've seen this when I got into game stores and talked to people who work at them, they fucking hate this. I've seen people who said, I'm not going to buy Mortal Kombat, I'm not going to buy Tekken, I'm not going to buy Street Fighter. Oh, the character I want is DLC. That's fucking stupid. I'm not buying that shit. Literally, you do not understand how much that handicaps that shit. And Tekken hasn't innovated for shit. What, Rage? Heat? Get the fuck out of here. I don't care, you know, even Harada has admitted as much. Tekken has always ridden on the back of Virtua Fighter. So, again, you don't know shit.
When these
it is.
Tekken, hell, Mortal Kombat looks like...
Again, that's just graphics. That's shiny new coat of paint.
Okay, so the rapid fire...
He's right. He's not wrong. Like, to me, it's not even just the number of releases. I feel that's a weird point. To a degree, I can agree with that. But it goes to show the fact that many people don't want to make a fighting game. And they're trying. I'll give the fighting games this, especially Guilty Gear, Street Fighter, Tekken. They are trying to be more appealing and make the cliff list stale. Like that, I cannot knock them for that. For sure. Like that, like, come on. You can't sit here and bitch about modern consoles, but then also say, oh, they're not trying to get people into it. But like I said before, the real issue is innovation and content, and that's the point he's really trying to make more than anything.
List of games means little.
I get that. You know what I'm saying? I get his point, even though I don't agree with what he said. I get his point. This person can't get that.
Genre, the scene they created, the impact of the franchises, and whether or not any of them were good enough to stand the test of time. Looking directly at Soul Calibur and Dead or Alive for this one. Say what you want, but Street Fighter, Tekken, Guilty Gear, Grand Blue, and others have made games that deserve to be kept alive and updated for years.
No, they don't. Again, the fact that you're like, no, first of all, Guilty Gear Stripe's trash. I hope that shit dies. Grand Blue is also Omega trash. I don't know how that shit ever got a second fucking copy.
These games are good. They aren't stagnant. They have new characters and updates regularly.
They are stagnant. They are dude, Strive is trying so hard to remain relevant. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And most importantly, respect the work that you, as a fighting game player, are putting into the game that you're playing by keeping those gameplay mechanics and revitalizing them in new ways. So overall, this video from Top Hat Gaming Man is just misguided. It's blaming the wrong things for the wrong issues. If you wanted to talk about corporate greed, talk about the stages in Tekken or the upcharge of Mortal Kombat DLC. If you want to talk about competitive...
That's part of the point, you bellend. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, the greed is literally killing fighting games. I mentioned my point before, dude. Holy shit.
machine pressure, discuss how Mortal Kombat's 4-year run is disrespecting the work of its players through sweeping gameplay adjustments. If you want to talk about the stagnation in releases over the years, talk about the impossible bar that AAA titles have set for indie developers and new IPs and creative ideas. There are points here to be made, but they're all just jumbled up into monetization and esports are bad and not.
Your points are jumbled up. What the fuck? Like, all of it is serving his main thing. That, again, his core thing is that fighting, well, they're clearly not dying, but they're not going past because they're just stuck behind as a relic. Again, the main point. And again, he's showing the examples that the fact that there isn't that many fighting games is one of his points. All serving, again, the core thing is that fighting games have been stagnant and it's hurting and it's dying, and part of the problem is greed. And that is absolutely true. Part of it is, like I said, part of it is greed, and because of greed, there is no innovation. Because the people at the top only care about money and results, no risk. They don't care about adding new modes. They don't understand. See, the only one who does is oddly Mortal Kombat, but they do not understand nor give a shit about the competitive scene. It's weird. Imagine if we could have the fucks given about content as a product of Mortal Kombat, but with the quality and care and talent of developers from fucking Street Fighter, fighting games would actually be right now where Call of Duty is, honestly. But no, that is not the case.
More, which is why I feel that Top Hat Gaming Man has lost the plot. And
you lost the plot, dude. Fuck off.
That is where I'll leave today's video. So do you agree with Top Hat's stance? Do you agree with my
Yeah.
stance? Are there any fighting...
I don't agree with your dumbass stance, fucking moron. Because here's my thing. What point are you trying to make? I'm not trying to get what you're at. You just keep pointing at random little nitpick shit. Feel free to check out my comment below. And again, really out of pocket for you not to link the fucking video. And you know what? For you, I don't have to. Fuck you, dude. I ain't linking shit. Feel free to check out me fucking cooking the shit out of them. I mean, I'm already cooking them now. I don't know how long this has been, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this from your favorite FGC Chibi. No Chibi, because it's too mad. It's too mad. We ain't gonna have the Chibi be mad. Well, Chibi being mad is fucking adorable. But yeah, no, fuck this one. Oh my god. But yeah, no, there goes my whole thing, whatever. This would have been like a vibe cast. I mean, like, I made videos before, whatever. How much money you want to bet they're probably gonna end up seeing this or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. And they say, oh, don't attack, whatever. You do you. I don't really give a shit. I'm not promoting to whatever, but it's just like, man, just... shut the fuck up, bro. I'm just tired. You know what it is? I'm just tired of being nice. And I'm just going to be a dick to everybody. That's my job now. I'm going to be a dick. Certified dick. And then at the end of the day, let's be real. I'm at least going to put my money where my mouth is. I don't know what this loser's doing. Clearly, they ain't MLG. They ain't FGC. We just need to have y'all motherfuckers stop making videos. Like I said, that last video where I was treating that moron who said, oh, fighting games, this and that. And he's literally just the peak of scrub quotes. This is like that, but like in consumerism. Like people like that are like, my bigger problem is that people like this, instead of actually realizing the core problem, like, again, we all need to talk about content. Like, to me, the Chad FGC is when we realize, you want to know why fighting games have issues? We just don't have good content. We have shitty ways to teach people. Like, it's not tutorials. We need offline content that can teach people how to get into fighting games and how to play them. This person's like, no. I'm going to talk about these random nitpick things that have nothing to do, whatever. And I'm just going to ignore that greed is the problem. Like, dude, greed's the fucking problem. It's always the problem. Fucking jackwagon.